Hey Soma fans, I want to do a little video about upgrading because I'll get a lot of questions about upgrading and what the chances are of it failing and what the risks involved, etc, etc. And it's a big part of Soma upgrading is that Anvil is probably the most hated and the most loved thing in the whole game. And if you search the forum for Flick the Bean upgrade chance, you'll find this thread and you'll find all the odds and the percentage chances of things working and obviously failing. So I would highly recommend saving this as in like a tab on your screen. Then you can actually look at and kind of the way the odds up in your favour if it's worth upgrading or not. But you got to think 100 skill, 150 skill, and a 200 skill character. I'm not going to go over all the upgrades of how they work because if you think about DTs, RDTs, toes, and I think the drugs and the blue pills maybe as well. I'm not off the top of my head, I'm not 100% sure. You don't need any skill for them. Don't ask me directly for that. I'm not 100% sure. I think CTs as well maybe. But things like keen eyes and bows and weapons and all that stuff, you need skill. I'd recommend trying to find someone with 150 skill at least, because 200 skill is quite rare. There's only a few people in the game who've got that, and there's not a huge difference between the 150 and the 200. Don't try and upgrade with 100 skill. I tried to do that when Matty had 100 skill, and I failed a lot of things, so I wouldn't recommend it. You can tell the big difference between 100 and 150. So on this thread, you'll see that there is a difference between the 100 and, let's say if you want to take a +5 item, you've only got 2.4% chance of it succeeding on 100 skill. You actually got 8.3% chance of it succeeding on a 100 skill and a 10.6% chance of it succeeding on a 200 skill. So obviously 200 skill is a slightly better chance. But not a huge amount. Obviously, there's a lot of work that goes into getting 200 skill. So to make a +8 item, which is kind of the end weapon item, there's not many +8 items in the game. To make one, it's an absolute pain in the arse, as I know. I actually had a +7 bow for a long time. I left the game for a few months, came back. I literally I didn't even say hello to anyone. I went straight to the anvil and tried to upgrade it. And if that didn't work, I probably would have never come back to the game. But it works. So I do have a +8 bow now. And the amount of bows I had to break just to even make a +5, it was ridiculous. Getting a +5 in the first place was insane. Actually, the bow I got I traded it at +5, so I actually went 6, 7, and 8 without failing. Obviously, that specific bow. I failed various other bows along the way. So there is obviously a risk involved, and you got to understand these percentages before you do this. Now, I've actually done. You got to think about it, like I say, a bit of a coin flip. If you think of coin flip, it's obviously slightly better odds than a coin flip, very slightly, but it is basically a coin flip. And I like to think of it like that. I just think, look, it's heads or tails, and if you flip a coin, it's going to be heads or tails. It's going to be one or the other. It's going to be fail or succeed. So I actually did a bit of a simulator, which I'm going to add to the video shortly, and talk you through that, and just to kind of see how I found this, and it was really quite interesting. Because trying to make a +5 item or even a +8 item, it's very, very, very difficult to do. So people who do have +8 items, I know like the heartache they've been through to try and get that. Some of them just get lucky. Some people literally just go straight 0 to 8 and no issues whatsoever. That's very rare though, that I find. But there is the risks that come toward it. I would recommend when you're upgrading, I would do this, and I say this to everybody who I play with. If, for example, you've got a bow that you want to upgrade, and let's say it's +3 at the moment, and you haven't got any other bows that are anywhere near as good as +3, okay, don't bother risking the main bow. Try and make another bow +3 first. So let's say you've got 2 rare stingers, one of them's +3, one of them's +2. Upgrade the +2, okay? If that fails, then don't upgrade the +3 because that's all you've got left. If it works and you've got 2 +3s, upgrade one of the +3s. If that works, you've got 1 +3 and 1 +4. Upgrade the +3. If that works, you've got 2 and you keep going. If it fails, you start again. That's how I've done majority of my upgrades, apart from when I just threw it all in on the bow at the end when I came back to the game. So I would recommend doing that, because that way you've always got your best weapon, and you're never kind of without anything, if you know what I mean. I know a lot of people who kind of get to. I know somebody recently who had like a +11 attack earring, which is +4, and they risked it to +5 with no backup, and it failed. Okay. So then you're back to square one, you've got nothing, where really you should have keep that +4, make backups until you've got another +4, and then risk one of them. And then, hey, presto, it works. Some people will disagree with what I've said here, but I'm saying it in a way that you've always got something to hunt with, and it's a safer way to upgrade as well. So you're not just risking everything for that extra few percentage. Okay, I'm going to pause the video now, and hopefully this will work with what I tried before. So like I said, this is a simulator. I used a kind of head or tails coin kind of simulator thing, and I just went through it as if these were weapons. Okay, this were weapons trying to be upgraded. So imagine this was at the anvil with a load of toes and a load of, I don't know, stingers, for example. And I used heads as the first one on this one, and only one went to +5. And obviously this is the worst it would get. It wouldn't get any kind of worse than this. I tried to make it to +7, and sorry, to +8, and it ripped going to +7. So this was the end of it. So this is kind of how it worked. This is how many went to, say, +2, +3s. One went to +5. I had a lot of rips in a row. That's kind of quite unfair, I think. So I did it again. I did tails as the kind of the yes this time. So again, it's not going to get any worse than this. This is kind of how you would expect at the anvil. So don't kind of expect much better than this. So this is kind of what happened last time. I had 2 +3s, 3 +3s, and a +4 rip going +5. So again, this is out of 20 weapons. So you got to throw a lot of weapons in there. Don't expect to get one stinger and suddenly, hey presto, you got a +8 bow. It's very, very difficult to do. I actually wanted to add this video at the end. This was I think about a month ago or something now, and I just wanted to upgrade some rare stingers, because rare stingers, when everyone's, this is before the patch race, so this is when everyone was at mags and you could get, a couple of rare stingers a day, really, if you want it there all day. EPs and stuff are pretty easy to get, so I just wanted to kind of rip some inexpensive bows. All of them were rare. And I actually got really lucky, so the first one straight away went to +5, and I was like, wow, and that's probably one of the first times I've ever had an item just go +5 straight off the bat like that. So I thought I was lucky, and then I was winning, and then obviously it failed. So this is kind of how it works. So look, the first one worked. The second one kind of ripped on, was it +3 or 4? Third one ripped on +1. That ripped on +3. So again, it's very similar to to that simulator. The first one as well, that could have easily ripped on any of the +1, 1 to 5s. So that failed on +3. So ended up with it's nice. That's a really nice stinger there, really, though, for that. So I was pretty happy with that. So Soma, this is how the upgrade systems are working. Don't be disheartened if you fail a lot of things. If you want something upgrading and you want someone trustworthy to do it, then obviously find someone that you trust and make sure they got 150 skill. So until next time, Soma fans, hope you found that informative. Enjoy, peace.